So, what if I told you that the thoughts you have going on in your head is what's keeping you trapped right where you are? Okay, when you tell yourself, I can't, or I'm stupid, I'm dumb, this isn't going to work for me, you are keeping yourself trapped because what you think is how you show up for yourself on a day-to-day. Like you can't ignore that. Okay, so if you talk to yourself poorly, you're going to show up poorly. If you talk to yourself positively, you're going to show up positively. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys, and I used to be the exact same way, you talk to yourself poorly. You are trapped in a mindset of lack, you're trapped in a mindset of scarcity, you're trapped in a mindset of self-doubt. And all of those things are keeping you trapped. You're also trapped in a mindset of low self esteem. And I hated having low confidence. I didn't have confidence for a really long time. It wasn't until I started showing up for myself where I started to believe in myself. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about in this video. If you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Jasmine. I have been a full-time entrepreneur, content creator for the past 5 years. And on this channel, I just share the knowledge that I've learned along the way and help you shift your mindset so you can start achieving those things too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. I need us to rewire our mindset. I need us to really lock in on the things that we say to ourselves. Moving forward, starting today until the day you die, I want you to start telling yourself that you're amazing. Even if you don't believe it, it's okay. It's okay if you don't believe it. I want you to get into that routine of telling yourself how amazing you are, how proud of yourself you are, how you're capable of doing anything that anyone else is doing. I want you to start really saying to yourself, if she can do it, I can do it. And yes, when you first start saying your affirmations, especially if you're not used to saying it, it's going to feel awkward. You might feel uncomfortable. You might not even believe half of what you're saying. That's okay. I still want you to make sure that you're saying these things to yourself multiple times a day, not just once a day when you first get up and then that's it. No, ma'am, no, sir. I want you to start saying those things to yourself all day long, as often as possible. Because what we're trying to do here is get it ingrained in our head. The more you hear something, the more it starts to stick, okay? And when it starts to stick, that's when we slowly start to shift, because what you believe is what you achieve. So if we can keep saying it, you start to believe it, right? And also, while you're saying these positive things to yourself, you no longer have the space to say negative things to yourself. So those negative phrases that you were saying, like I'm stupid or I'm dumb or this isn't going to work, you no longer have the space to say it because you're always saying positive things to yourself. Listen, literally, I cannot make this up. Throughout the day, I remind myself of how proud I am of myself. Like, for instance, I just got off of TikTok Live before I even started recording this video. And I'm not gonna lie, before I got on there, I didn't really feel like getting on. I was like, oh, maybe I can just make today a content day and skip the live. I just wasn't in the mood, but I still did it. I still got on live. I still did what I did, and I got off. And after the fact, even though I didn't get any sales this morning, I was still like, I'm proud of myself because I stuck to the plan and not the mood. Yeah, the mood was, we could just skip today, but the plan was to get on there. And the fact that I did it, despite how I felt, I still did it. And I reminded myself of how proud I am. And these are the things that we have to start doing if we really want to shift our mindset. You are amazing, but the problem is you don't think it because you never say it. And a lot of times, too, we look for other people to tell us that we're amazing. We look for other people to tell us that we're smart. But you can't do that, because if no one else tells you that you're amazing or that you're smart or that you're capable, well, now you don't feel that way because you didn't get that external validation, right? But instead of doing that, I want us to focus on giving ourselves the validation. I want us to have internal validation. And the only way you're going to get that is by talking to yourself positively, okay? Also, too, something else that we need to work on when it comes to our mindset. A lot of times we think that if we don't get the results that we want in the time frame in which we feel entitled to them, then we failed. And that's not true. Failure only exists when you quit, okay? When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to give up on this. Well, that's when you have officially failed. So for those of you guys who are so afraid of failure, if you don't want to fail, then just don't quit. I can't make this up. If you do not want to fail, then just don't quit. Because the minute you quit, that's when you have officially failed. But if every single day you just commit to getting a little bit better, maybe you post an extra video on a particular day, right? Maybe you're used to posting every other day. How about we lock in and post every day. Maybe you post one reel a day on your TikTok. How about we lock in and post 2 reels a day on our TikTok, right? If every single day you commit to just getting a little bit better, you're not failing. And honestly, the way life goes, you should always be working on getting better anyway, whether it's in your content, your business, your mindset, your fitness goals, weight loss goals, whatever it is. You should be working on getting better in all aspects of your life. So that's what I want us to lock in on. And over time, as you keep improving, as you keep getting better, maybe one video got 0 views, well, the next video got 2 views, right? That's still progress. And every day that you get better, every day that you work towards your goal, you're starting to feel better. See, the reason why we don't feel good is because we're not actively working towards a goal. We say we want to be business owners, but are you actively working towards that? Or is it just something that you kind of just talk about in casual conversation because it sounds so cool? But when you're actively working towards that goal, now you're achieving it. Now you're laying the foundation brick by brick by brick. And that's what's building confidence. That's what's helping you feel better about yourself because you're showing up for yourself in ways that you weren't before. I can't make this up. The things that we have going on in our head is what keeps us from reaching the goals, getting to the destination. You have got to fix your mindset. But fixing your mindset, it requires work. You're not going to just wake up one day with a healed mindset. No. You have to work for that. You have to earn it. You have to continuously fight against the old version of yourself to make way for the new version of yourself, okay? And it's going to get uncomfortable. I told you guys, when you start saying your affirmations, it's going to feel a little awkward. You might even chuckle a little bit because at this point in your life, you may not really believe nothing that you're saying to yourself. So the whole I'm smart, you might laugh when you say that because deep down inside, you might not feel like you're smart today. But if you keep saying those things, I promise you, there will come a point where you actually do believe it. You will get there. You will get there. And as you keep working on your confidence, you keep working on the things that you say to yourself, you will get to a point where there's absolutely nothing that you don't think you're capable of. Something else I want us to lock in on too is we have to keep the promises that we make to yourself. I say this in damn near every video because it's true. If you keep backing out, if you keep, going off of the mood and not the plan, you're doing yourself a disservice. And you've proven that to yourself. So let's try something different, right? If every day you tell yourself you're going to do something, you don't do it, and you see how badly you feel about yourself, well, the only other option is to try something different. Let's try making a promise and keeping it and then see how we feel. But again, if you don't execute, if you just watch this video and then, and then continue back to your regular scheduled programming, you're going to continue to feel the way you feel. You're going to have to put in work. If you truly want to change your life, if you truly want the business, the content, the transformation, you're going to have to put in the work. You cannot run from it because if you do, you will stay exactly right where you are, which is feeling trapped and feeling stuck and watching others from the sidelines. And if you're still watching this video, I know for a fact that's not what you want, because if it was, you would have left. But you're still here. That lets me know that you trust what I'm saying. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to change it? If you want to change, then it's time for you to join Glow Up Academy. I tell you guys every single day, this is the space where transformation really takes place. This is the space where we come in feeling insecure, we come in doubting ourselves, but through the lessons, through the journey, you're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to start showing up for yourself. You're going to start putting in effort, and you're going to start to get the results that you've always wanted. And the best part about it is not only are you locked in with me, but you're locked in with other people who are also actively working on changing their life so they can start their business, create their content, build their platforms, and finally build themselves. The link is down below in my description, and I will see you guys inside Glow Up Academy. Bye.